Hey everyone, it's Erin from Lady Bee Collective, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Just ignore, if you've been here, you know about these dogs, so they're just doing their thing per usual. I usually do these on like a Sunday or Monday, but it was kind of a not as busy day, so I thought that I would just talk about some of the frustrations that I'm having lately, and maybe you can relate to them also. Okay, so for me, lately, I feel like my thoughts and behaviors aren't necessarily lining up with my purpose, or that I know what my purpose is. I know what I want. I know what I want to continue to work on and be, but there's just a lot of like wiggle room and gray area. So I think what I mean by that is when I decided that my anxiety was just too much and that I really wanted to live a more fulfilling life. I wanted to break some generational patterns. I wanted to do better for myself. I wanted to feel better, and that includes financially, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. I just felt burnt out like a lot of us. I just felt tired. And no, I'm not going to sell you on something that's going to like cure it, because I feel like that's where this speech was going, and it's not. But I just knew that things had to change. And for me, I want a quick fix. I want like a plan, and I want it to happen literally overnight. And that doesn't work. And I learned that the hard way. So I decided to kind of map that out. You know, what would it look like physically for my health, emotionally for my health? What would that look like? And my mental health, and my relationships, and kind of combining all of that presently with healing some stuff from the past, which we all have to work on, and then kind of what I saw my future as. And I think that it was really hard. Well, I know it was really hard to kind of stay present, because I felt like I was going in between the past and being present and the future, but I was kind of skipping the present and the importance of it. I was focusing on the past, obviously, to heal, to be good in the present for my future and for all those goals. And they kept meshing, like intertwining. And that's part of it, but I kind of guess I wanted to feel like it would be healing and then present, and then every day I'd be working towards my future, but I'd be enjoying this present moment, and things would be happening, and that does happen, don't get me wrong, but it just doesn't flow like that. And lately I just feel kind of frustrated because I want to get to the next part. And I think a lot of that also has to do with like COVID and more of the anxiety and depression and what comes with the last year, and kind of feeling like I have to play catch up with things, and feeling like I need to get that year back, even though it was a really good learning year. And it sounds bad, but like, I don't want to be toxic positivity, and I am really grateful for so many things. But it's just like when you really start to get aligned, and everyone can relate to this at some point, when you really feel like you can start to become you, not overnight, but just really become you. Like, you feel better speaking up about your opinions. You feel better not maybe getting dressed up all the time and having to like fake smile and, you know, go be around people you don't want to. You know, you just start to feel okay. Like, you're not as people pleasing, right? Like, you're not just doing things to do them. You have more like, I want to do this. This feels aligned. This feels like something I want to do. And it's the hardest thing, but it's actually a really cool thing to be like, do I really want to do this? Is this fitting with where I want to be? Yes or no? And you kind of almost have to do it with every single thing in question. But as you keep saying the yes or no, your path kind of starts to form itself, which is amazing, which is great. We've all been there. I don't know if we talk about it like this, but that's just kind of what happens, right? We get to this age, or something usually happens, or we're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and we get there, and we just kind of are excited. But then when we're there, we kind of not forget where we like came from and how far we've made it, but there's kind of sometimes a little bit of like a lull that's just not like a waiting period, but a little bit of like, okay, this is going to take time and patience. And like rationally, I know that. But some of it, I just want to happen. Like sometimes I feel like days go by and they go by really quick, and other days I'm just revving up for this like final, not even final, that's it, like where I want to be, right? Like we all have that with our goals, like exactly where I want to be, and I can see it. I can almost like taste it. I can almost like wave to it, but it's not here yet. And that just becomes really frustrating. And there's many areas of life that this happens to people, and I think we all feel it. And that's just kind of what's going on, is a little bit of the frustration. And so I feel like I have to pull back and every day kind of be really, for me, big into my routine, because that's helpful for my mental and physical health and spiritual health. And I have to remember to feel things, but also to put them into perspective and then keep going. And that everything that I feel does serve a purpose. And maybe it helps me to continue knowing that this is something that's placed on my heart. This is part of my purpose. Or maybe what I thought was part of my life, there's no room for it anymore. Maybe I outgrew it. Maybe it outgrew me. And I think just all of that can be pretty frustrating at times. And then you just add in daily life and unexpected events. So I think that's kind of where I am. I'm excited, but there's some like frustration, and I just have to take a deep breath and again, just focus on every day making those little decisions. I forget about those. Like even the tiniest of decisions are so good if you're making them towards like what's good for you and on your journey. I know I said that really weird, but like I said, like it's in those little daily decisions where you're like, wow, like I'm gaining momentum here and I'm really feeling that. And that does feel really good. I guess just sometimes on the mundane days and the days that I'm not, excited about something, it just, my mind can kind of go down that rabbit hole of just frustration, or what if I have done this, or what if I didn't do this, I'd be here. And your mind can take you all over the place. So I just want to share that because I think a lot of people feel that at times, and I just want to remind you to breathe through it. Remember that every day, and even every emotion, like I said, and even the frustration leads you even more to like, why are you frustrated? Is this a passion of yours? Like you're frustrated because this is something exciting and aligning with you. Like that's awesome. But again, in the moment, I don't have that insight to be like, oh, this frustration's so great. So I think just being real with your emotions, taking a deep breath, putting it into perspective, not keeping busy, but being more kind of like, I always forget this word and I'm doing it again, but just being, just not doing things just to do them, like a lot of us do. Not doing it just so we don't have to feel our emotions, not just keeping busy, not just like, oh, well, I have nothing better to do, or, oh, this is just gonna temporarily make me feel better. But consciously making these little decisions that add up to an entire lifestyle change. So yeah, I guess that's it for this Tuesday. I hope you're having a good day. Remember, if you're not, just go with it. Just relax. That's hard to say because I had one of those days yesterday and I couldn't just relax, but I got to the point where I had to just say it was a day. Like we all have them. It wasn't a full day, but we have our moments. And I think it's important to talk about these moments and be real about them, and not always, I tend to put a really positive spin on a lot of it, and sometimes that could be toxic, and sometimes that's just, yes, it's being positive, but at the same time, I don't want to neglect, I don't want to stay negative, but I don't want to neglect the things that are happening and being real and confront them, because that's how we overcome them and get to the points where we're at and where we're going to continue. And lastly, I'd want to say that, remember, this is just a journey. I have to stop myself. So I'm like, oh, once I get this, like, you keep going. There's no like end game. I mean, there is an end game. I don't want to go there, but like, you know, there's no end game with it. We just keep growing and evolving, and things change, and we keep wanting to meet our goals and know that we're going in the right direction. And also, I guess this isn't last, this would be like a PS, but remember, I said this before, but you can always change directions. If you're going in a direction and it's not the right direction, it's not too late. You're not too old. Change the direction. Make the life you can. Will it be tougher? Yes. I've been there. I've done it. I'm doing it. Of course it is. But that peace that comes over you in those times and that excitement, it's worth it, because I don't know if you're like me or if you've been through it, there's just some times that, whether we hide it or not, are just awful and depressing, and we're like white knuckling it through life, trying to be as positive and grateful as possible, but it's not really living, you know, like it just becomes where we kind of numb things out. And so changing that direction, even if it's going to be harder, it's not going to be as depressing or as numb or just kind of like the short-term fulfillment. So yeah, okay, I'm done officially this time. If you want more of this, check out my YouTube, subscribe, like it. Also check out Lady B Collective on TikTok. Check out Instagram. Check out my stories. I do a lot of just kind of daily thoughts. My podcast, that's under Sincerely Lady B. You can find that on Spotify or Anchor. And yeah, just go to my website and check it out. And I do daily posts on my IG as well. And I'd love to hear from you. I really, really would, if you can relate to any of this. So let me know. And yeah, I did the self-promotion. Now I just have to tell you how amazing you are, because you are when you don't feel like it, because I don't feel like it right now, but I told myself that this morning, and I'm kind of believing it, and that I'm capable and I'm worthy of all the things that I need, not necessarily want, but that I need. So I hope that this is helpful, and it gets you thinking, and you feel less alone, and you can relate more. And I hope that everything you're working towards, I hope that you give it your all, and you don't compare, and you just give it your all, and let it be at the end of the day, and know you did your best, and that's all you can do, and that's all that you can ask from yourself. So I will talk to you next week sometime, and let me know if you want more insight into personal experiences in my life. Let me know what topics. I really, really want to hear from you. So DM me, comment below on this, go to my IG or my Facebook and let me know. And I will talk to you next week. All right, bye.